Ken Trahan with Lenny Vangilder. That's our first NBC weekend review, courtesy of First NBC Bank, with branches throughout the greater New Orleans area, also on the North Shore and in Mississippi. If you're looking for a good bank, it's First NBC. Find one. You undoubtedly will have one near you. Interesting sports weekend, of course, today. Word about Tyran Mathieu, and at least the possibility that he would want to stay at LSU, maybe sit out a year and come back. It's a story that's still unfolding, but it has been raised today.
Yeah, it has. And, in the 72 hours since we've gotten the word that Mathieu was off of the LSU football team, we're not necessarily hearing from the people that matter in this situation the most, but a lot of reports out there. And I guess what it comes down to is this. He has, options as to whether he might want to go to an FCS school and be able to play right away, or if he wants to pay his own way, stay at LSU and maybe try to work something out on the back end to where, if he makes everything right, that he would get the opportunity to play again. Ultimately, it's up to Tyrann and his family. From what we understand, he's back in the New Orleans area, considering all of his options at this point. And like you said, this thing will play itself out in short term.
Well, it certainly will, and of course we'll keep you posted at sportsnola.com. Friday night, the Arena Bowl won by the Arizona Rattlers, 72-54 over the Philadelphia Soul. They were in control throughout. The teams from the West in the National Conference were simply better than the teams from the American Conference.
Well, it seems that way, and that was one of the storylines going in. As the game played out, the interesting thing was Philadelphia was the best team in the league this year when it came to turnover margin, plus 23 in the regular season, plus 7 in the playoffs, and they turned it over 3 of the first 4 times. As you know, this is all about possessions in arena football. They are either possessions where you score or they're empty possessions, whether you get stopped or you turn the ball over. Arizona, until they ran the clock out at the end, had no empty possessions during the course of the game. Played practically a perfect game and forced Philadelphia into 3 turnovers the first 4 times they had the ball.
The American Legion MidSouth Regional winding down, could be over, will be over by this evening actually. And the Jesuit-based Retief Oil team in the driver's seat, fresh pitching, undefeated. Someone would have to beat them twice. That's going to be hard to envision with the pitching they have lined up. And congratulations to Otto Candies, the Hunville-based team, which had a very good season.
Yeah, they did. A great run here through the entire season, particularly, showed very well for themselves in this tournament. Winning 2 games, they lost to Retief in the driver's seat game Saturday, and then a wild game yesterday, going 15 innings, taking well over 4 hours, 12-11. They lose the game. It's funny, all kinds of offense early on, and then when it got down to the later innings, a bunch of zeros on the scoreboard.
And then finally, not local, but certainly of interest, the Olympic Games coming to a close in London, 4 years convening in Rio de Janeiro. Your overall take on the Olympic Games in London?
Well, all the reports you get is it was as great an Olympic experience as many people who have done this for a living or have been a part of the Olympic movement for a long time have witnessed. All aspects, from the crowds to the volunteers, everything that you encountered over the course of 17 days in London was outstanding. And obviously the U.S. Leading the gold medal total, leading the overall medal total, an outstanding Olympics for the United States.
And the good news for people who view in the U.S., and there were so many, in Rio, the time difference really doesn't exist. You're talking about 1 hour for some people, 2 for others. So therefore, you're going to get to see things live in prime time from Rio de Janeiro in 4 years. Lenny, it's always a pleasure.
We'll see you later this week.
All right, look forward to it. Until next time, for First NBC Bank and for Lenny Vangilder, I'm Ken Trahan for SportsNola.com. Have a great week.